move on and shift our focus to other big stories as well, where the opposition parties are all now setting up to up the ante against the Election Commission's decision to allow the non-locals in Jammu and Kashmir to be included in the voter list for the upcoming assembly elections that will be decided for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir.
And the all-party meeting, which has now been called by the National Conference President Farukh Abdullah, will be held, and the Congress party is also expected to be participating. And this is very much consistent with the likes of Mr. Abdullah making claims in the past as well that this is just another sinister attempt on the part of the institutions, including the EC, as well as the government, to engineer a demographic change in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. We'll see how that meeting pans out, but here are some reactions.
हम उसके ऊपर चर्चा हो रही है। हम आज उसके लिए चर्चा करने के लिए ही आए हैं। हमारे इसके बाद मीटिंग के बाद चर्चा होगी, लेकिन कांग्रेस पार्टी एक स्टैंड लेगी और उसको हम जल्दी से इतला करेंगे, विरोध करेंगे इसके लिए। कांग्रेस जरूर हिस्सा बनेगी उसके लिए, और जो भी जमहूरियत के पक्ष में होगा वो कांग्रेस पार्टी उसके लिए करेगी।
Right, so this is coming at a time when majority of those regional parties there in the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir have reacted sharply, even when it comes to granting voting rights to the non-locals, saying that this is a ploy by the BJP, because they say when it comes to the locals in Jammu and Kashmir, they will never be voting in favor of BJP, and that is why they want to include the non-locals there so that it can tilt in its favor. Let me go across to Ishan now. Ishan, good morning. Tell us more about this meeting that is likely to happen. We've already heard reactions coming in from Mehbooba Mufti, the likes of Dr. Farukh Abdullah and others as well.
Well, if you remember, there was a press conference done by Chief Electoral Officer Jammu and Kashmir, very clearly stated about the special summary division that is undergoing after 1st of January 2019 for the first time. And it's also for the first time that this process is going on after the application of Article 370. So he stated that around 25 lakh voters will be added who have attained the age of 18. Now, he interestingly pointed out at a rule and a law where a non-local can add himself in Jammu and Kashmir, and later on a clarification was issued that he has to drop his name from his native voter list and he can vote in Jammu and Kashmir, which led to a lot of political backlash where PDP, NC and other political parties said it's illegal. How can a non-local voter vote in Jammu and Kashmir? There was a rebuttal and also a clarification issued by the DIPR where they said ask people not to listen to vested interest, but at the same time a meeting has been called by these political parties, except BJP is invited. All the rest of the parties are there who have been invited. Interestingly, one has to see which parties turn up on the in that all parties meeting that Farukh Abdullah is going to chair. They're going to decide future course of action because they feel that this is a wrong move by the government, that bringing non-locals to vote here will turn the table in favor of BJP. They're alleging that this move has been done to give BJP a favor. What happens next? One has to see that how do these political parties react and how does this go forward, because we're sure that after this they'll brief media about the decisions that they have taken in regard to how they are going to tackle or how they are going to manage the situation, because they feel that this is a process of making sure that the BJP wins elections in Jammu and Kashmir by making all the people, including security forces.
Absolutely. And Ishan, what is the response coming in from members of the Gupkar Alliance and also, of course, the Congress party about the clarifications that have been issued by the Election Commission that this is no attempt to engineer any kind of a demographic change, that the people who would be registered as new voters in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir would in fact have to give up their domicile and election status or the ballot status in their native states as well. What's the response coming in from the Gupkar Alliance to this clarification?
Well, they haven't responded anything so far. It was only after several press conferences were held by regional political parties, including National Conference and PDP, and then there was a clarification issued in local dailies by the government, wherein they stated that there is no change and everybody has a right to vote, and only those people who want to register themselves and have been working in job sector or any kind of sector in Jammu and Kashmir or are studying students, for example, they can vote here, but they have to cancel their list from the native place, and then temporarily as a section and a provision of the law, they are going to vote in Jammu and Kashmir. But at the same time, Congress clearly said that they are going to file a public interest litigation in the court and challenging the order. They have also cited law saying that it is illegal to implement these moves in Jammu and Kashmir. Although after this controversy, CEO hasn't said anything. But the government has responded saying that it is only the due process of law and they are going to follow it What happens next? Because we don't know. Today, Farukh Abdullah, on phone call of Mehbooba Mufti, actually has held this meeting. He was called upon by Mehbooba Mufti, and then they too deliberated and called for all parties meeting, where every political party, apart from BJP, has been invited. Which parties turn up, we don't know yet. But yes, Congress has said that they are going to participate in the meeting. There are parties like PDP, People's Conference, who we expect to be there, CPIM, who are part of the Gupkar Alliance. What happens next? Because certain political parties have left Gupkar Alliance. Whether they will turn up or not today is interesting, because after 5th of August...
Because, Ishan, there are 5 parties that actually join to form the Gupkar Alliance. But if we talk about, the equation, how is it really changed? Because these party leaders were in Delhi as well, few years back, meeting the Prime Minister at his residence. That time also they had cited the willingness to participate in the democratic process of holding elections. Thereafter, delimitation meetings that were held, of course, they were citing their objections to it. But now when it comes to the change in demographics, which the Election Commission say will not happen, it is only because the special status that has been removed, it is now becomes all the more inclusive, even when it comes to the non-locals who can now exercise their franchise. Ishan.
Well, yes, exactly. They have stated their issues and clarifications when this Election Commission visited Jammu and Kashmir. But remember, the government is very clear about certain things. They are saying that this is law. The CEO stated Representation of Peoples Act 1951, that which clearly states that according to law, a voter can register himself, because these laws were not implemented in Jammu and Kashmir before the application of Article 370, and that is why now these laws are in action. Now, the political parties largely see it as what they have been terming as a demographic change.
Right.
And they are saying that it's about that. But the Congress, interestingly, has pulled a leaf and said that they are going to file this public interest litigation,
right,
and they are going to challenge based on the Election Representatives Act.
Right. Many thanks for that update, Ishan. We'll see how the meeting pans out.